that ting in your knee you feel every time just a little soreness, or is that nagging pain something a little more? Joining us now is Dr. Willey from Physicians Immediate Care to fill us in on how to tell the difference between being sore and being injured. Well, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I know sometimes, when I actually make it to the gym that I feel sore the next day. And everyone's like, oh, it's a good sore. It's a good sore. So how do you know when it is a good sore and when it's a bad sore?
Well, I'd love to start this conversation by quoting Chuck Kimmel. He was a previous head of the American Athletic Training Association. He said there's two types of people that experience soreness: those that expect it and those that are surprised by it. The soreness that comes about is just going to happen to anybody that moves in an activity or movement they're not used to. It's due to the eccentric contraction of exercise. This is concentric if I was curling. No soreness from that, but when you go back down, that eccentric or stretching contraction causes muscle soreness. There's two primary types. There's an acute muscle soreness you get from a buildup of chemicals, even a little swelling from the activity right then. So the burn you feel and are told to get, that's acute muscle soreness. Then delayed onset muscle soreness is a soreness that occurs 24 to 72 hours later. And that's due to actual micro trauma, of the muscle from the exercise. That can be good soreness. Now, differentiating the two is hard to do. If you have an acute injury, you feel something right away. If the pain is intense while you're doing your activity, it's probably an indication to stop. I call it the good Lord's knock on, hey,
telling you,
cut it out. This is important. Don't listen to me. That hurts. If you have a change or swelling right away from your exercise, stop your activity. That can be an acute injury. If you cannot move a limb, and that means wrists, fingers, elbows, shoulders, knees, joints, hips, neck,
that sounds bad then.
Don't do it. But it's surprising how many people I see in the clinic in an acute setting who have injured themselves and say, yeah, I couldn't move very well, but I finished my workout. Don't do that.
So just knowing when to stop is a key.
It's a very good key. It's okay. It's okay to have a good burn. You're going to have delayed muscle onset soreness no matter what level you're on if your activity is intense enough. Especially beginners, our weekend warriors, or people just starting exercise, plan on being sore. That's okay.
So the next day when you are sore, you shouldn't just say, well, maybe I'm injured, I'm just going to take a break. You should keep going.
Should keep going. And there's actually some real neat research on nutrition recovering, L-citrulline and watermelon. Just did an article in the paper about using watermelon as a post-exercise recovery activity. Stretching, whatnot, does not help, contrary to belief.
Oh, wow.
There's some studies on it actually can cause soreness, intense stretching. There's some good studies out there on intense aerobic activity right before resistance training that seems to help delayed onset muscle soreness. But you hit it right on the head. If it hurts intensely while you're doing it, stop. Plan to be sore. And going back to the gym and doing a little extra, a little exercise when you are sore can be beneficial. You may want to have to adjust or change your routine a little so you're not going through the exact same movements, but it can be beneficial. Don't quit when it hurts.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in. If you go to the gym tomorrow, you feel sore, Dr. Willey says, keep going. You'll feel better.